Hello everyone and welcome to the Autoimmune Dietitian YouTube channel. My name is Annie. I'm a registered dietitian and I work with clients struggling with autoimmune diseases. And in my work with my clients, I help them use a personalized nutrition roadmap designed to improve their mobility, their concentration, their energy levels, and just help them get their lives back. So today we are talking about the Autoimmune Protocol eliminations. And these eliminations can seem really daunting for people because it feels like all of the good and normal foods are gone and you're left with nothing. However, with a little planning and support, this elimination diet can turn into something completely reasonable. Eliminations are also important to help lower inflammation and thus minimize your autoimmune disease symptoms. So here's an overview of what the eliminations are, how to approach them, and what you can expect once you start on this journey. So before I jump in, I need to attach my usual disclaimer to this video that the information in today's talk is not the substitute for the diagnosis, treatment, or care of disease by a medical provider. This is for informational purposes only. So please consult your qualified health professional for any changes you make to your medical care. Okay, so what are the AIP eliminations? So the Autoimmune Protocol, or AIP, is an elimination diet, meaning that we remove common inflammatory foods for a period of time to see if they help improve symptoms. Now there are two different versions of the AIP protocol. There's the core protocol and the modified protocol. The core protocol is the original protocol that has been studied for its efficacy. It eliminates all grains, gluten, dairy, nuts and seeds, alcohol, nightshades, legumes, processed oils, processed food chemicals and additives, non-nutritive sweeteners, added sugar, sugar alcohols, and eggs. That is a laundry list. So you can see why some people might be intimidated by it. The modified version is less restrictive, and the elimination diet I actually follow in my Ditch Your Inflammation Foundations program. The reason being, the studies and the experience from coaches using AIP found that most clients experienced good results before eliminating all of the core foods. Plus, more restrictive isn't always better, and the modified version is a lot easier to follow. So in the modified AIP protocol, you still eliminate gluten, dairy, eggs, nightshades, processed chemicals and additives, alcohol, non-nutritive sweeteners, and sugar alcohols. But you keep in rice, which is awesome, pseudo grains like amaranth, buckwheat, chia, and quinoa. You keep in legumes, all except for soy, which you do need to eliminate, ghee, which is great for cooking, and seeds, which is a huge win. So why do we eliminate these foods? This seems like a lot of, normally healthy foods that we are cutting out. So again, depending on which version you choose, the reason we eliminate these foods is because they either trigger inflammation in the gut, they cause dysbiosis, which is an imbalance in your gut microbiota. They may increase intestinal permeability or leaky gut, which can then trigger an immune system response. They may act as molecular mimicry, which means that they look like similar tissues in your body that your body's already attacking. Or they stimulate your immune system on their own, like nightshades do for some people. So removing these foods from the diet helps lower inflammation that may be caused by eating these foods. That means that inflammation in both the digestive system and the body as a whole drops. The drop in inflammation helps reduce autoimmune symptoms. So it's basically the same thing that medication does. Medication that you take for a lot of autoimmune diseases is designed to block inflammation. So we're just using a different method here to lower inflammation in your body. And not to say that, you should stop medication while you do AIP. The studies have actually looked at the combination of medication and AIP together. I believe that both approaches can work. So absolutely do not stop your medication unless you consult with your doctor. So how do you approach this elimination diet? So there are two main ways to approach eliminations, and it really depends on the type of person you are. The first approach is what we call a slow transition. It is a more gradual approach to eliminations where you remove 1 to 3 things every week. This approach was used in the research studies on the Autoimmune Protocol. The slow transition approach is for you if making diet changes seems very overwhelming and you are not super savvy in the kitchen. It does take a little bit longer to hit the full elimination phase, but it can really help people be more compliant with this protocol. The other approach is the cold turkey or fast transition approach. In this approach, the person eliminates all of the foods at once, immediately starting at baseline at day 1. It's faster and appropriate for those who are experienced in elimination diets and or are very comfortable in the kitchen and have done meal planning before and are really kind of good like that. This approach may also be better for those who are really sick who want to feel relief as soon as possible. So what can you expect from eliminating foods? Here are some key things to expect when you start an elimination diet. First, it's going to take you a few days or even a week to get into an eating routine. If you can, try some recipes ahead of time, and I always recommend having a plan in place before you start. That means you know what you're going to eat for your meals, you cleaned out your kitchen, you have snacks available. We really want to avoid food emergencies. People fail on these types of diets because they do not plan. So planning is absolutely key here. Feeling frustrated or sad is completely normal. Food is a ritual and it is often used for more than just satisfying a hunger need. So you may feel left out that you can't have the same meal as your family. You may feel sad that you can't eat at your favorite restaurant. Just keep in mind that elimination diets are temporary and you will hopefully be able to add these foods back in at some point later on. Lastly, most people do start seeing improvements in symptoms within a few days to a few weeks. This might look like improved digestion, more energy, better sleep, less pain, less bloating, weight loss, or less brain fog. So lots of great benefits to be had. So remember, the last thing I really want to emphasize here, and I'll talk about this later in another video, but elimination diets are temporary, and I think most people mess up on the AIP protocol because they don't add things back in. And I'm going to talk about reintroductions in another video. They are key. They are key to your success because you are not supposed to be on this limited of a diet for a long period of time. Minimum, they say, to stay on the elimination phase is 30 days. You do want to add things back in once you start seeing lots of improvements. If you are on this for 3 months and you're not getting better, then you need to take a different approach because this clearly is not helping you. All right, so just to recap, today we focused on the Autoimmune Protocol eliminations. We talked about the core and the modified eliminations that you can expect when you start this diet. The reasons why we eliminate them: to lower inflammation, and what to expect and how to do it, how to approach it, and then what to expect. So for those of you who like more help managing your autoimmune disease, your digestive issues, or just reducing inflammation in general, I would love to chat with you. I offer free 15-minute discovery calls to learn about your goals and to see if we are a good fit for each other. So you can do that. There is a link in my YouTube profile for discovery calls, so click that, book a free call, and then we'll have a chat. So hopefully that would be helpful for you. If you're not looking for one-on-one attention, I do have a group program that is open for enrollment every now and then. If you are watching this as this video is released, it is now open for enrollment, so you could also go to my website to find that. It's under my foundational program. And then lastly, you can sign up for my weekly newsletter. It comes to your inbox every Thursday morning. I'm really just trying to provide you with tips and tricks to help improve your symptoms and to live gracefully with your autoimmune disease. So if that is of interest to you, you can subscribe. You can always unsubscribe if you don't find it helpful. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the little subscribe button. These come out about every week. And if you have any ideas or things that you are interested in learning about, please drop them in the comments. I do read the comments, not always right away, but I do get around to it eventually. So leave your comments and I will see you next time. Thanks for joining.